Okay, this is kind of a redo of a video I did earlier. It was 30 minutes long and only had about 10 minutes of material in it. So it was on the 29th that I kind of came to realize that, kind of noticed the change in my kind of mindset, where I noticed that I no longer had that urge that craving for entertainment and screen time, particularly screen time. I mean, I still had the feeling that I would definitely enjoy watching a movie. I no longer had that urge to go bash in Casey's door and demand his laptop. So I honestly think that the weeks I've spent here are actually really working. And at this point, a movie every 2 or 3 days is enough to keep me satisfied. I mean, I'll still get kind of bored sometimes, but not. I won't get a craving for television anymore. Oftentimes I might get an urge to go into town or something and go hang out for a few hours. But anyway, so yeah, there's that. Also, just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about people here. So, for one, there's Casey. He is honestly the most laid-back guy I've ever met. Well, maybe not the most laid-back guy I've ever met, but I mean, I honestly can't tell whether he's high or not because he's always the same, whether he is or not. He's that laid-back. Nothing bothers him at all. If something goes wrong, Jill will start freaking out, and Casey will be like, "Oh, well, here we go again." So, yeah, and he's a great guy. He's always willing to talk about stuff or lend a hand or do a favor. Yeah, so this Casey, and honestly, I'm honestly not completely sure whether he ever is not high, because honestly, I can't really tell the difference. I don't know if I've ever met him or seen him not high before, or well, at least had a conversation with him while he was sober. Jill, on the other hand, is like the opposite. She seems to be constantly freaking out about one thing. Well, not freaking out, but just really anxious and tense all the time about one thing or another. She's always like, kind of like Mom, if Mom were a hippie. She doesn't freak out necessarily, but is a cleanliness freak, and is the one who really has finds herself having to take charge of everything and get all the demands fulfilled, like before the next retreat or whatnot. So yeah, she and Casey kind of complete themselves. She does all the freaking out, all the worrying, and he does all the calming down. So yeah, Gary, he's gay. It's very obvious that he is, but it just makes me like gay people more, because he's the coolest guy here, in my opinion. He is so awesome. He has a great sense of humor, but at the same time is like the wisdom carrier, the wisdom giver of the group. He'll be cracking jokes one minute and then giving the best advice you'd ever received the next. I think out of all the people, all the employees here, he's the one that is able to see people's auras. He can see spirits and stuff, communicate with them, or remove them from the Maloka if he doesn't want them there. He can basically kind of analyze what is going on with you based on what he can see in you. Like for instance, that point that goes from my brain to my foot. He explained all that to me and gave his opinions on that. But he's given so much advice and great like opinions that just make things make so much more sense to me around here. So yeah, he's a great guy. And always willing to talk. There are some things that he's told me about his ayahuasca experiences that I honestly probably would never personally mention to anybody. Although it is rather amazing how open he is to telling people about those kind of things. 'Cause a lot of his experiences with ayahuasca were pretty personal. So then there's Miguel. He's become kind of my best friend here. He's the only one here who's around my age. He's 26. He's gay, but it's not nearly as obvious as it is with Gary. I honestly didn't know he was gay until just a couple days ago. In fact, I think it was just yesterday that I found out. Yeah, he was telling me about his trip over to San Francisco. Not in the States. It was in it's in Peru. But he was staying with this shaman Maximo and his apprentice Troy, and Troy's wife, who happens to be Maximo's granddaughter. And also apparently is like 18 years younger than Troy. Kind of bit of a shock there. But, yeah, Miguel went over there to learn from Maximo, and he was intending to do a dieta over there, but Maximo decided there wasn't really enough time before Miguel would have to come back here. So they just did some ayahuasca ceremonies. But apparently Maximo is an unbelievable shaman, despite his old age. So Miguel wants to go back over there once this retreat and the next one that we didn't actually know about until just recently are over. Miguel was planning on heading back over to live with Troy and Maximo. Yeah, Miguel is really great to talk to about pretty much anything. There's no discrimination over here, so it's taken me a while to really kind of get out of the mindset that nobody wants to talk about the kind of stuff I'm interested in. Because around here, everybody's interested in the stuff I have to talk about. He's great to talk to and great to hang out with in town and stuff. Like last night, he and the new guy David and I all watched the Fifth Element, and it was so much fun. We were cracking up and having a lot of fun with that. So that was great. Let's see. Tomorrow is the next retreat, the beginning of the next retreat, and so I'm really looking forward to that. Today seems like it's going to be kind of a boring day. David and Miguel and Jill all went off into town, and I'm kind of stuck here on my own. I'm out of snacks, which is probably a good thing, since I don't really want to fill myself up with junk food a day before the next retreat starts. What else was I going to talk about?